another way, I must eradicate any and all threats to them.
You can't save everyone. The Underworld is teeming with sickness. How could you possibly pull it off?
You're right. I can't save everyone alone. But if I must, I would sacrifice food and sleep to treat them. The debt that Vash owes to the Underworld rests with me. All I can do is help everyone to the best of my ability. To the very end.
So stubborn. In that sense, you're no different from your crazy brother.
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. Your actions today have saved many Underworld families. I'll find a way to dispose of Vash's leftover reagents. Next time the Mutual Aid Society wants to whip up a quack cure, they'll be out of luck. Let's go back to town. I still owe those patients an explanation.
Eu já vou, Natasha. Tem que resolver um easter egg. Tem que derrotar um gajo coin aqui. Espera. Ok. Bons. Isso nunca é por aqui. Well. Não lembro de tal, daqui a pouco que eu vou.
Let's take it in turns. You rest. I'll stand guard.
It looks like the patients have surrounded Natasha. Let's hear what they're saying.
Ixi.
What are you saying, Doctor? The wonder medicine is out of supply?
Correct. That medicine is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Wildfire has cut off the supply chain. Your ailments need rational, scientific treatment. Relying on pseudo-medicines will only worsen your condition.
Rational and scientific, huh? The way I see it, you're just jealous you lost your patients.
Oh, how dare you speak to Dr. Natasha like that? Where are your manners?
Ma'am, please think for a moment. How can you still be siding with her? That wonder medicine was working fine for us, and now it's gone because she wants it to be? How can she?
I understand your anger, but as your doctor, I ask you to trust my judgment. I will find a way to access more medical resources and help you through your struggles. If I must, I'll get help from the surface.
The surface? I almost forgot that you were an overworld big shot.
Have some respect for Dr. Natasha.
If it's respect she wants, she better find a replacement for the wonder medicine fast. If not, I'll tell everyone about how she set up Dr. Vash. I'm out of here.
Ô, Natasha. Nath.
Oh, you're here. I apologize. That must have made for uncomfortable viewing.
Tá tranquilo?
I'm okay. If I were in his shoes, I may well have had the same reaction. Now I need to focus on treating the patients and dispelling their doubts. Let's leave it for now. I'll feel a lot better once I've gotten rid of this mess that Vash left us. Now's as good a time as any to tell you Vash's whole story. If there's anything you want to know, don't hesitate to ask.
Ele
No,
era seu irmão biológico?
I used to think we were so close that we may as well have been. I actually grew up in the orphanage. It wasn't until I was adopted by an overworld family that life changed for me. My adoptive mother always saw me as her own flesh and blood, and Vash loved me like a sister. That is while we were still young. My adoptive parents belonged to a prominent medical family. As kids, we were exposed to all kinds of medical texts. When we were older, both of us got straight into Belobog's medical school. We were on a path into the medical profession. He was
Vash?
gentle and introverted. But when it came to work, he could be absurdly obsessive, like a completely different person. Whenever I made a mistake in an experiment, he'd bite my head off. And then a while later, he'd apologize and comfort me. He was conflicted in that way.
Oh. Então você sabia que a sua medicina
I didn't know he had
ele?
leftover reagents in Rivet Town. I
Medicina.
was shocked when you told me.
A medicina.
Fail to
A
make a clean
medicina.
break with the
O
past.
remédio era
The past creeps up on you.
Ele realmente morreu?
That's a long story. Ever since he was little, Vash had always wanted to develop a medicine called blizzard immunity. He saw the human body's vulnerability to cold as a disease and wanted to cure it so that humanity could survive the eternal freeze. If he succeeded, people would be able to leave Belobog and rebuild their homes in the snow plains.
Você compartilha a
To
visão
be
dele?
honest, I never understood how he'd achieve that blizzard immunity. But I do admire that vision and perseverance. I always chose to believe him, ever since I was a kid. I knew his research in the overworld wasn't going well. I used to write to him and ask him to come down and stay with the kids in the orphanage for a while. I thought it might help take his mind off his research. But I was too young to know what long-term frustration could do to a person. It changed him in a terrible way.
Mudou ele?
During his stay in the Underworld, he met patients affected by fragmentum corrosion with mild symptoms. Compared with non-patients, he began to simulate mild fragmentum corrosion, thinking that it could lead to breakthroughs in developing blizzard immunity. Those reagents of his aren't cure-alls for critical illness. That doesn't exist. Vash made the reagents to mitigate the suffering of his patients in the short term, a convenient way for him to observe changes in his test subjects. But behind my back, he had been doling out the reagents to residents who were kept in the dark. When it finally struck me that something was wrong, his terrible research had already turned him into a madman.
Nada pareceu
I
estranho na
trusted Vash with all
época.
my heart. Funny, isn't it? And pathetic. When his experiments were exposed, I spent a long time with Oleg discussing how to handle the aftermath. This was shortly before the Underworld was sealed off. There were hardly any Silvermane guards remaining. We spent ages trying to find a way to handle Vash. In the end, Oleg suggested that we banish him and permanently deny him access to the Underworld. Had his victims found out the truth, Vash would have been torn to pieces by furious Underworlders. I was young and weak at the time. Oleg must have worried about how I'd react to such a scenario, or he wouldn't have suggested banishment. I hope so. The day I learned the truth was the day I no longer recognized my brother. Oleg and I took Vash to the overworld. He made his final request to us, to take him outside the city to the snow plains he'd always wanted to conquer. His figure gradually disappeared into the snow curtain. I've been telling myself that Vash is dead ever since. Forgive me. I'm not good at telling stories. Vash was a terrible brother and a worse doctor. That's all you need to know. Let's call it a day. Thank you for cleaning up the mess my brother left behind. Here, for your trouble.
Ah. Agora a gente volta lá. Eles estão aqui. Agora falar com a Clara. Pegar esse teleporte aqui para chegar na Clara. Clara. Curiosamente, o Joarog não é um dos boss que se enfrentam como sombra. Legal. Ô, Clara.
The thief has stolen parts again? How am I going to track down this crook?
O que aconteceu?
Oh, it's you. There have been a few unusual thefts in the dwelling over the past few days. The vagrants say that the parts they worked so hard to obtain have completely vanished. They're worried that there's a thief in the dwelling. Despite our investigations, no one has been able to track down the thief. What's even stranger is that the thief appears to be only interested in stealing parts and doesn't care about other valuable items. The vagrants had no choice but to ask Mr. Svarog to look into it, but he still hasn't found anything. I investigated the matter myself, but I came up empty-handed. Jeez, I'm baffled. What a strange thief.
Não se preocupe, a gente vai olhar as pistas aí.
Perhaps if we work together, we can uncover some clues that I missed. It's just, I haven't found enough clues yet. The thief is really tricky. They haven't left any traces in the dwelling. Oh, I heard the vagrants on patrol last night ran across the thief again. but I haven't had time to look into it. Should we go ask them?
Vamos falar com as testemunhas.
Sounds so cool. Seeing you so fired up has me excited too. Now, let's get started.
É muito chão. Eu teleporto pra cá. Quebra aqui. Tem mais pra quebrar. Aí.
Sir, how are you? I heard you saw the thief who stole the parts last night. Can you tell us what happened?
Ah! Who's there? Oh, Clara, it's you. I thought it was... You scared the living daylights out of me. I did see the thief last night, but who is this person next to you?
Sidekick do Detetive
This
Jenny.
name is a bit embarrassing.
Detective? I see. You're here to help catch the thief, right? It's great that there are more people here to solve this case. Hold on. I'll explain what happened last night. Just let me gather my thoughts first. Oh, okay. So, last night, I was on patrol when I bumped into the thief stealing the parts. Then I just...
Calma.
I'm sorry. Last night was just so terrifying. I'll continue. I was cold and hungry while on patrol last night, so I decided to return to the dwelling and heat up some leftover canned food for a snack. But when I entered the tent, the thief's silhouette scurried across my vision. I couldn't see the thief's face because the tent was so dark, but I could tell he wasn't a nice guy. Because when he turned to flee, he swung a knife right across my face. In that moment, I really thought I was going to die. I could feel the blades chill on my cheeks and smell its rusty scent. The weapon that fella had was definitely a metal one. That's the only thing I'm certain of. Also, I saw the outline of him in the dark. The fella's head was absolutely square. Yes, you heard me. Square. Can you believe that? Someone with a square head? It was truly terrifying.
Opa. Continua. Uma cabeça quadrada? Meu Deus.
Sounds bizarre, but it could be a clue. I'll jot it down. Sir, please take a deep breath. So, the thief was armed with a metal weapon and had a, square head, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
I'm struggling to make sense of these clues. Do you have any thoughts?
Tem mais alguma coisa que você notou aí?
I was too scared. When a shadow leaps out at you, who could possibly pay attention to such tiny details?
It seems that's everything. We now know one of the culprit's physical traits and that he is extremely violent. But how can we track him down?
Yes, I remember something. While the culprit was hurrying to escape, he knocked something over. He may have left some clues or something.
This is a crucial clue. Let's go investigate the crime scene together.
I think he ran that way. No one has touched the crime scene, so any traces he left behind should still be there. Please, catch the thief for us.
Vamos ver o próximo. Deve ter pista por aqui.
Take a look at these marks. These are very suspicious. Could they have been left by the culprit?
Talvez.
They point in that direction. Let's go take a look.
Vamos lá. Tá lá embaixo.
And look at these. How unusual. They don't appear to have been left by a human.
I'll end your misery. Honored to meet me. Nose grip. Time to twirl. Who's next?
Opa.
The tracks stop here. I guess we'll have to look around for other clues. This is where the mechanical waste is disposed of, though. Could it be?
A gente não... Cuidado, a gente não quer alertar o culpado.
Okay. I'll follow you. Let's split up. Wait. What's that noise?
Uh-oh. Vou pra cá, hein? Ah,
It's a tiny robot?
é.
Is it searching for something? But I don't remember Mr. Svarog issuing an order like this recently. It looks like it's carrying the vagrant's missing parts. And those tracks and metal scratches we noticed earlier.
O ladrão não parece ser humano.
It appears we're thinking the same thing. This small robot doesn't appear to be a Belobog creation. It looks like it's been welded together from random scrap metal materials. Oh, it appears to have a small mechanical arm. Ah, it's noticed us.
Human. Injured. No. Hurt. Please don't.
Você fala robô?
I don't understand
Desculpa,
what it's
você fala
saying,
robô.
but it doesn't appear to be trying to flee or attack us. It appears to be trying to say something. Human, please, don't hurt. Is it trying to say, please don't hurt me, humans?
Provavelmente.
Human. Parts. Rivet. Need. Repair. Need. Town. Part.
parts. Need. Hurt. Don't. It appears to have a malfunction, but I think I can understand it. It seems that it needs these parts, and it's begging us not to hurt it. I've never seen a robot with this kind of malfunction before. What happened to it?
Calma, ele não vai mais ficar roubando. Primeiro a gente precisa
Although this
retornar as
small robot
peças que
appears
ele
to
roubou.
want to communicate, its speech is all scrambled. Perhaps there's an issue with its language module. This little guy probably can't understand what we're saying either. Run! Escape! Open! Fire! Workshop! Chase! Don't! It's running away! No, we can't let it escape. It still has the vagrant's parts. What should we do? We gotta stop it. But please don't be too rough on it. I'll figure out a way to repair it later.
Olha, se ele a porrada no robôzinho pra ele cansar.
Pain. No. Hurt. Don't. Pain. Suffer. Sorry. Parts. Sorry.
Time to twirl!
Sorry. Hurt. Suffer. Pain. No. Pain. Sorry. Sorry. Pain. Hurt. Sorry. Suffer. Sorry. Sorry. Pain. Sorry. Ouch. Pain. Sorry. Why? Sorry. Pain. Suffer. Sorry. It seems to have stopped working.
Eu não entendi o que aconteceu.
Was it begging for mercy? I'm not sure what happened either. I feel bad about this. I guess we should return this little fella and the parts. I think I can... I'll repair it. And if I can't, I'll ask Mr. Svarog for help. He always knows what to do.
Vai, Svarog, aqui, ó. Pegou.
Initiating assessment of the robot's condition. Please wait, Clara.
While Mr. Svarog is assessing this little fella, let's give it a quick checkup ourselves.
Dá uma olhada aqui, ver se tem que consertar.
This paint job and these custom parts, and the way the parts are attached, it's all quite strange. But one thing is for certain. This little fella is not under remote control. He's operating entirely of his own accord. Its design is, well, unique. I've never seen a robot with a design like this before. It really seems like something that was thrown together rather quickly. Its creator most likely didn't consider whether the system would function properly or not. Is it a failed robot pet creation that has been abandoned? But if it's a pet, then why would it gather parts itself?
Eu acho que eu ouvi o termo de pet robô.
I've heard that some vagrants in the dwelling keep the little robots they find as pets. Some vagrants also make modifications to their pets, which they call pet upgrades. Pets like that are pretty rare, But some of the folks who have them have formed a small community to share ideas. Some are interested in nurturing